Okay, so I've got to the stage now where it's getting exciting. Up to this part, testing stage. So we've done all the work on the board we can so far, all the links and jumpers and everything, and I've got the mica insulators under the power transistors that need isolating. So now it's time to plug in the stim and test the board basically and see how we go from there. So to start by checking all the diodes, make sure they're the right way around. Well, we've done that, check the whole board over, check that you fitted the mica insulators under Q9, Q12 and obviously Q16 if you fit it for the high level ignition output. Now we can plug in our stim. Okay, so here we go. Plugging in the stim using a 9-volt battery. And we're going to turn it on and just look for any short circuits or anything, hopefully not. Okay, good. Now I've got my multimeter. And we're looking for pin 32 and pin 20. There we go, we have it numbered here. Use this one. Okay. So we're going to be negative on 32, positive on 20. So we're going to put positive there, and we're going to go 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32. Turn it on, we should get 5 volts. 5 volts. Nice. So we're going to go 20 and 19 as well. 20, 19. 5 volts. And pin 2. 1, 2. 5 volts. Five volts on T select. 0 to 5 volts on T select. Yep. Turn it off and we got nothing. Sweet. Proceed to step 30. MS3 CPU card mounting. Okay, so I've got my MS3 card here. Okay, so we need the spacers, which I'll put aside here. Okay, so I'm going to plug the board in now. We'll just line the end plate up with the LEDs, that you can just move them wherever you need to. Got no power going into the board. I'm just going to slide it in like this. The USB connection towards the outside. Trying to put it in without damaging the pins or anything. Not pushing on any components, like so. We'll see it lines up. Not quite. Nothing in Dremel won't fix later though. And that could be because of this standoff here. I reckon I need to swap those standoffs. So I'm going to do that now. Just try that now. That's better. I'm going to put a bit more grease under this power transistor. Because I don't think the builder put enough under there. Like that. Now put a bit more grease under this one, which has got hardly any under there at all. That's looking better. Much better. Now some screws for the top. Cool. So there's the MS3 board mounted now. I think this connector's for the MS3X, so I'm going to take that off. Okay. Done that, done that. Okay, so now we plug our stim in again. So plug the ECU into your stim and turn the power on. Fill the top row of power transistors. If they get hot at all, turn the power off and check for faults. If the microprocessor gets hot, then turn it off. Slightly warm is okay. Any part too hot to touch, then there is a fault. Seems okay. Next step, MS3x installation. So I'm going to leave it like that, and before I put the expansion board in, and I'll see if I can test it now. So I'm going to skip this part. And now we're ready to load the firmware. Let's pretend it's in the case. We can load the firmware. I like the sound of this. Loading firmware. Okay, so I now have the stim plugged in and the Megasquirt powered up, plugged into the computer via USB. I've downloaded the drivers and the USB serial driver from the website listed in the manual. So now I'm just going to do the port check for the COM port. So in Device Manager on your version of Windows, go to Ports. Open that, you'll see USB serial port, and it's on COM3. So I'm going to write that on my page. COM3. I'm going to open that. Device is working properly. Yay. Port settings. So I'm going to just set it as per the manual, with a screenshot anyway. 115200. Data bits 8, parity none. Skip bits 1, flow control none. Click OK. Yep. Sweet. So that's that step done. COM3. Then we can install the firmware. Which is happening now. So I'm going to download the latest MS3 firmware from the msextra.com website. That's all sweet. And then I'm just going to follow the directions here about the folders and everything. It's in the manual. Okay, so it's reflashing the firmware to the ECU now. Looks like it's all working. It's self-detected. It's an MS3 type ECU. I'm not preserving any settings or anything. So it's yeah, sending the firmware now. Okay, looks like it's finished flashing to the ECU. Press enter to continue. Looks like it's done. Sweet. Okay, so the firmware's uploaded now, flashed to the ECU, and it's plugged in, and I've just opened up Tuner Studio. So let's try and set it up and run some tests with the stim.